Okay, here we go. Hello, Dennis, and fans of thegamingliberty.com in Ireland. In Ireland, where you all talk like this, perhaps, or perhaps even more authentically Irish than this is. Maybe, maybe not. This is Michael Beattie. I am the voice of Mordin Solus in Mass Effect 2, and my voice is a little under the weather right now. I'm getting over a little bronchial thing. So I've got my hot tea next to me. I'm in the back house studio of my place here somewhere in Burbank, California. And I thought it'd be fun to do this interview for Dennis on tape via MP3, because, you know, I'm a voiceover guy. So okay, so I'm just going to read the questions I got from you here, Dennis, and then I'll answer them. First off, tell us a little about yourself. Okay, well, I am an actor originally from Canada, Toronto, Canada. Been in LA for about 20 years. You can read up about me at my website, michaelbeattie.com, MichaelBeattie, capital V, capital O.com. And I've had a career in all sorts of things. I've done a lot of animation, cartoon series, obviously a lot of video games, and feature films as well. I did a nice little role in Cats and Dogs, The Revenge of Kitty Galore out this year, and I'm actually working on a really fun little project. Dr. Seuss's The Lorax that Universal Pictures is doing, a sequel to Despicable Me, and have a nice little role in that I'm having some fun with right now, actually. It's not a sequel, of course. It's not a sequel to Despicable Me. It's actually by the same creative team that did Despicable Me. That'd be Ken Dario and Cinco Paul in particular that I'm working with right now. Some very creative, fun guys. I've also done a lot of on-camera work, a lot of comedic commercials, and film and TV as well. The biggest of those being a movie called Swept Away with Madonna, directed by Guy Ritchie. And Swept Away is kind of what happened to it at the box office. Dozens of people saw that worldwide. We actually won the Razzie Award for Worst Movie of the Year 2002, which I'm pretty proud of. Let me get a little sarcasm off my chin there. And I also did a short film with Guy and Madonna called Star, also starring Clive Owen, and you can still see that on YouTube. Just Google it in and you can see that. That is a very fun little 7-minute film that I did with them just before the feature film. Alright, how did you land your role in Mass Effect 2? Wasn't in 1, just 2. That's an interesting question. I did something very unique. I read for it. I went into the booth at my voiceover agent and read for it. Did BioWare have an idea on how your character should sound, or were you left to your own devices? Yes, they had very specific ideas about what they wanted to do with the character. They wanted a kind of a quirky character who was could be comedic but could also be dramatic. They referenced a character whose name I can't remember right now, from Alias. His name escapes me, but the kind of goofy guy from Alias with Jennifer Garner. They referenced him as an archetype. So that was the start off. So my audition was basically, and also cinematic, not over the top. So my audition was fast, somewhat comedic, and not over the top. And then I got it. Part 2 of that. So that was the start. And then when I got the job and we went into the booth, I worked with the writers from BioWare and voice director Ginny McSwain. Then in the booth with Ginny and the writers from the first get-go, they gave me direction and I tried things. And actually, I think for me the best part of the process then was working with Ginny. Interesting. video games are different from the cartoon series I've done in that one of the bigger challenges is that the other actors aren't there with you. You are basically alone in a booth with a voice director and 2 engineers. Well, they're on the other side of the glass, but and with a project this size and the amount of dialogue I had to depend a lot on Jenny to tell me. I mean, the pronunciation of the names, what who the Varen, they're like wolf-like and they're bad guys. This is the shorthand she would give me, so I knew what the hell I was talking about. But she was a blast. I really enjoyed it. It was the first time working with her for me, and I'd heard about her before, but I really enjoyed her a lot. She was such a pro. She knew what to say to actors and what not to, what kind of information that you need as an actor and what you don't need. And she really worked with me in the creation of the voice. For me, the pitch of the voice was, we tried higher, we tried lower. We ended up with pretty much my natural vocal pitch, because all Solarians are pitched up generically. The whole race is pitched up a little bit. So we kept basically my own voice so that with the pitch up, it's a little bit higher. So that was a challenge for me. When it's closer to my own voice, to find the hook for the character is difficult. But what I found, the 2 hooks that I found were the nasal breath and the what was in the writing, which was of course just great, wonderful writing. I gotta say that the writing is by far the best of any video game I'd ever done before, and frankly, great on any level. It was just some wonderful storytelling, and some wonderful dialogue. So in the writing was that Mordin never uses a subject to a sentence. He doesn't say, I don't like you. He says, don't like you. We'll have to kill you. This time must try farming equipment. So the great writing was the start. The 2 hooks were the nasal breathing in and also the repeating of phrases. Not an option. Not an option. I threw that in, and they let me keep that. They were very specific about things they wanted and things they didn't want. But as we got into it, and Ginny and I found the voice that we liked, those were 2 things that ended up getting added in, were the nasal in-breaths and the repetition of those short phrases. And those were the hooks that really kind of helped me find Mordin. And a great find he was. Just a really fun character. I had just a great time doing the voice of Mordin. Next question. Michael, Mordin's speech pattern is quite quick and frantic at times. As an actor, how did you approach it? Well, part of that has been answered, I guess. But yeah, it was challenging, very challenging, especially rapid fire dialogue, throwing all those different names of races and the techno speak that the science character always gets, the Spock character always gets. But basically, what's the point of what I'm saying? Who am I talking to? What do I want? Those are the things that always drive an actor, and that with those hooks, with I got some time when I did that, and the not an option, the repetition of a phrase helped lock me in. And then and you look at the character drawing, or the CGI artwork, and you just start to get a sense of who the guy is, and it sounds a little cliche, but you start to inhabit the character, which I did, and it was fun. Next question. Take us through a excuse me, a typical day during the recording process? Well, I've described that a little bit already. Ginny McSwain, the 2 engineers, and me. A stack like 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick of dialogue. And we do an hour and 50 minutes, take 10-minute break, and do 2 more hours. Boom, 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 boom. Well, slower at the beginning when we're finding the voice and trying things out. Once we got into the middle section, I did 9 or 10, I think, sessions, and we really started. We hit. There was a part in the middle where we really hit. I hit my pace, I think, and we do 10, 20 pages at a time, just 1 take each. I probably shouldn't say that, but when you hit the zone, you hit the zone. It was great, and it was really fun. Again, when I knew it, Ginny knew it, so she directed me when I needed it, and when I didn't, she just stayed out of the way, which is again, I think the mark of a great director. But okay, enough with the Ginny McSwain fan club. Sheesh, get your own agent. Did BioWare show you any concept art of your character during the recording sessions? Yes. Before the first one, all the characters were up on the wall, and they showed me the trailer for it, and I got to go, wow, shh, ooh, boy. It looked pretty cool, and the characters looked great, too. Some of them were really scary, really, really scary. And some were very sexy. Yeah. Let's see. So anyway, great art. My gosh, great stuff. Beautiful, beautiful matte paintings. Really nice. Michael, Mordin took part in creating the genophage, the biological weapon that would effectively cut down on Krogan species. How did you incorporate this other side to your character, which some might see as the darker aspect of Mordin's career? Yeah. Well, one of the great things about this game, and I just sort of got to find as I went through it, was that was the incredible range of this guy. I mean, he's comedic and he's compassionate, and yet he's also a scientist, and he's got that kind of man or creature playing God portion to him, which is kind of what the genophage is to me. It's trying to play God, and very, very scary, dangerous stuff. And I think part of the genius of the writing again is that Mordin gets to discover that along the way, that this thing that he thought was a brilliant idea at first turns out to have a pretty big downside, and him having to deal with that was one of the great aspects of the writing and the great challenges of the role, which is really fun. It made it less. I mean, it just was. It was not one-dimensional. It was a three-dimensional character, and just a lot of fun because of that. Okay. Next question. At first, Mordin comes off as a very passive character, yet manages to give off an undertone of vicious ruthlessness. In one scene, he tells Shepard, "Have killed many, Shepard, many methods, gunfire, knives, drugs, tech attacks, once with farming equipment, but not with medicine." As an actor, do you try to get into your character's head, and if so, how do you view the character of Mordin Solus? I remember that line, and I laughed when I first read it. It's a great line. But I loved that part of him, actually, because it's where he gets to have balls. He gets to kind of lean into it and say, I may be the nerd with the big words here, but don't push me, because you're going to get a little pushback. And he's proud of his achievements. He's capable, not just intellectually. He's capable physically and in battle, obviously. Well, here comes a helicopter. As an actor, do you try to get into your character's head, and if so, how do you view the character of Mordin Solus? Yes, you do try to, and again, when the writing leads you in as well as this does, it's not hard, because it's all there. You just commit to it. You don't comment on the character. You don't make a moral judgment on whether he's right or wrong. You inhabit the character. His point of view is right because it is right because it's my point. I'm playing the character. It's my point of view, and I'm going to defend it, and I'm going to justify the rightness of it. And then when I do that, then I get to experience the self-doubt that happens as the character does, not ahead of schedule, not before he does. Okay, let's see. What can you tell us about your Mass Effect co-stars? Did any friendship spark up during the making of the game? Well, as I said at the beginning, yeah, I didn't meet them. I didn't meet any of them. No, that's not true. Let's see. Who did I meet? I met a couple of the... Oh, I forget. I met Jennifer Hale once. Said, hi, how are you? And I think that's it. I met a bunch of other people, but I don't think any other actors. No. So, no, it was lonely in the booth there. Just Ginny and me and the two engineers. So, that's that. Jennifer seemed nice, though. If the Mass Effect movie goes ahead, I think it goes without saying that Mordin's character would need to be either partially or completely CGI. Would reprising the role for a big screen adaptation interest you, Michael? Absolutely. I mean, if you haven't got the sense of it already, I really had a blast doing this role, and I love doing comedic stuff. But when you've got something, a character as three-dimensional as this, that's, you know, he was my favorite character in the piece, written wise, and get to play him was just a wonderful privilege and a great opportunity, and I loved it. So I would love to do it again, and I would love to do it big screen, CGI voice, or performance capture. I would like to do performance capture. There were some things when I watched footage of the game, actually, with the way he moved, that there were some places they hit it right on. It's like, that's exactly right. It's like I was doing the same thing in the booth. There were other times that I went, oh, I would do that somewhat differently. So I would love to physicalize the character as well. That'd be my ideal, actually, to do it as a performance capture. Have you gotten much fan feedback? Yeah, not. I have got it indirectly, less so directly, but I've had a couple of fans, maybe 8 or 10, contact me through my email or stuff, and I'm always happy to engage them and talk about my experience. It's great to have that feedback, and it's been universally very positive, and people really seem to respond to the character and really enjoy what I did with it. So that's it's very gratifying. Have you had a chance to see or play Mass Effect for yourself? Seen it, yes. Seen parts of it. I've not played it. I'm not a gamer. I'm like I'm just attempting some Medal of Honor with my 13-year-old son. What are we doing? Medal of Honor Rising Sun, and I'm getting blown all over the place. It's a scary thing, but at some point, I want to do it. There's a friend of mine is a big gamer, big fan of it, and I got to go over to his place sometime and have him walk me through it. Gaming for the gaming challenged. How do you want Mass Effect to be remembered? How do I want it to be remembered? What did I say? What did I read in some of the reviews? Space opera, space soap opera. It has that Star Wars kind of epic thing to it. I'd love to see it as a movie. Since you mentioned it, I really would. I'd love to do that. I'd love to be in it, and I'd love to watch it. I think it'd be great as a feature. As a trilogy, as a Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi type type thing, because yeah, they got the 3 stories, Mass Effect 1, 2, and I think it's, yeah, I understand it's supposed to be a trilogy. So, okay, what's next for you? I think I covered that up front. I'm working on. I've got a few irons in the fire. Some things I can't talk about, but I'm working on right now on the Lorax for Universal, and having a lot of fun doing that. Yeah, and hopefully Mass Effect 3 is going to start up soon. That'd be great, huh? All right. Hopefully I didn't bore you to death, Dennis, with my long-winded answers. But I really enjoyed doing this interview. Thanks for asking me, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.